Good morning, my stamping friends. It's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Alberta, Canada. And thank you for joining me on this Monday, September the 8th already. Oh my goodness. So today we are going to take a look at a really, really neat suite of products that's in the annual catalog. And it is this one, the Kintsugi Inspirations. It's on page 58 and 59. And so in the suite, you get a stamp set and the dies, an embossing folder, some gems, and some fabulous designer series paper. And of course, each of these items is available individually. So I thought we are going to take a look at this because how should I say this? I was watching, and spoiler alert for anybody that doesn't know what Kintsugi is, and I'm just going to tell you what it is first of all, just for a little bit of history here. So Kintsugi means to join with gold. It's a Japanese art of repairing broken pottery by mending the areas of breakage with a liqueur dusted or mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. And the meaning of Kintsugi also, to join with gold, is a reminder to stay optimistic when things fall apart and to celebrate the flaws and missteps of life. I thought that was very lovely. So we are going to take a look at this today. And I found and was inspired by a project by Kylie Bertucci, who's a very popular and fantastic demonstrator in Australia. Now, she didn't have any measurements with her project, so I just sort of made up my own, and hopefully they're similar. So this is the stamp set. These are the dies, so some simple dies here. And then this is the embossing folder. It's called Join Together. So it's a 3D one, but it's a smaller 3D folder, not the 6x6, just the regular size. And then these are the flower accents. They're gold, which are beautiful. They have a little shimmer to them and a little bit of ridging in them. Self-adhesive and nice and flat. And then this designer paper, oh my gosh. Okay, so it is 12 sheets, 2 of 6 designs, double-sided, and it's a specialty designer paper. And that is because there is some of these metallic elements in it, right? So this is one side. It's just, the color palette is, let me see. Color palette, basic beige, cloud cover, lost lagoon, misty moonlight, old olive, and petal pink, and some gold. So this is the more neutral side. So this is one of the cloud cover, and I'm sorry, I have a bit of a shadow happening right at this moment. And then you have some misty moonlight with these really nice swirls. Oops. And this petal pink with some sort of cherry blossoms or little blossoms on there. And this cloud cover and some more petal pink and some more misty moonlight. So nice neutral backgrounds. Okay, now get ready for this side. Go. This is your basic beige with some gold. Then we have these florals, which are misty moonlight with some gold. And look at this one. Oh, all kinds of the colors right in this one piece of paper with the gold. And then we have the misty moonlight with the gold, which is just like this white one, except you've got one of each, misty moonlight and a white with the gold. And lastly, you have this piece, which are these vases, which luckily our dies will cut out. They will cut out the vase, they'll cut out the teacup, and they will also cut out these flowers. So saves yourself some time in fussy cutting. So very, very handy. Okay, so this is our project. It is a fun fold. and Kylie referred to it as, oh, a triple panel slide and lock Z-fold card. So say that 10 times quick, okay? So here's our kintsugi, and you're gonna open it up, and then this flap is also going to open up. So you're gonna do your journaling in here, but is that just not the coolest thing? Oh, this just grabbed my attention. And so she did a video putting this all together, but she didn't mention the measurements. So I'm just kind of winging it and made up my own measurements. So I think it all came together pretty well. So I'm going to show you how we are going to make this. Okay, so I'm going to keep this out just as a guide. Okay, and I'm also going to bring out my paper trimmer because we have to do a teeny bit of scoring. And don't worry, you don't have to write the measurements. I will put these on the post, and also on my I'll also have this video on the YouTube channel. Okay, so if you're wanting to re-watch the video over and over, you can do that on Facebook as well as over on my YouTube channel. So we're gonna start with 2 pieces of Misty Moonlight. So this is actually 1 piece of paper cut in half. So our 8.5 by 5.5. Now each of these we are going to score at 2 1/8. Okay, so 2 1/8. And get your cutting blade out of the way. You just want your scoring blade. And then again at 4 1/4. Okay. And then we're going to do the same on the second piece. We're going to start at 2 1/8. And you could use your scoring board too if that's easier to find the measurements. Sometimes these little tick marks are a little tricky. So scoring board is also a great tool. And 4 1/4. Okay. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. And then what we're going to do is one of these, we are going to fold, well, actually both of them, but we're going to fold in half. And then on this score line, the 2 1/8, we're going to fold back. Okay. And we'll fold back. All right, so we'll do the same on the second piece. And then we will fold this back. Okay. All right, so what this is going to do is make our base, the base of our mechanism. Okay, so when you fold it closed, these should pretty much meet in the center. If there's a bit of a gap, not to worry. Okay, the important thing is that you're sort of lined up on the edges here. Well, for me, that was important. Okay, so this is our base. So what we're going to do is we're going to put adhesive on this one side, and we're going to stick it on the base, the larger part of the other piece. Okay, so you could use liquid glue if you prefer. Oh boy, I hope this adhesive is going to cooperate with me today. Oh dear. My other one was starting to run out. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to replace that one. Hopefully I have, oh my gosh, you think I would have thought of this before. Okay, well, let's see if I have enough in this one for now, and then I'll have to get a refill. Okay, so you have this. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to line it up, not quite at the score line, because you don't want the fold to run into it. So I'm just going to line this up kind of like this. I think that should still work. Okay, I have a little bit more of a gap because of that, but that's okay. I didn't want this edge to run into this fold here. Okay, so we have a little bit of a gap, but that's fine. It still lines up pretty well on the sides. Not too bad. Okay, so then what we're going to do is We can do a couple things. We can add our centerpiece here, or we can add our paper. Maybe we will do that. Okay, so we're going to add our paper, designer paper, on these panels here. So what I did on this inside panel is I used this blue of that kintsugi paper, and hopefully I have that pre-cut. Yes, I do. So these are going to go on this panel here. Okay. Now we also have this, but we're going to use that on our center portion. Okay. Okay, so let's put this one right about here, just in the center of the panel. Just sort of eyeball it. And then this one, oh, I am running out here, I think. You know what? Maybe I should just use my liquid glue. That might just be a better option, so I'm not wasting time. So just put a little bit of glue around the edge. And this also gives you a little bit of wiggle room, right? With our liquid glue. A little bit messier sometimes, but it does stick very, very well. Okay, so now we're going to do these outside panels, and for that I decided to emboss with that embossing folder, and this is what it looks like out of the petal pink. So you can decide which side you would like to show, okay, the recessed or the protruding side. I kind of like how this pops, this vein here, so I think I'm going to put those on the outside. Okay. I'm not used to using glue so much. And it doesn't matter if these are, you know, which direction these go, if it's up or down. It doesn't really matter. Whichever you like. You might just want to be consistent with the piece that's, you know, recessed or not recessed. It's up to you. Everything is your own taste and how you'd like to assemble. Okay, so that will go here. Okay, so we're getting started. So that is our fold. Now let's do our middle piece. So for that, I have cut another piece of Misty Moonlight, and this is 10.5 by 4, and it's scored at 5 1/4. Okay, so we're just gonna fold that over. And then what we're gonna do is put this here on the inside, okay, so that this flaps up like this. So we're just gonna put some glue on the back. Let's hope my glue doesn't run out now. That's just kind of how it goes. Okay, so we'll put our glue on the back, and then you're just going to put this up, not quite at the top and not quite at the creases, right? Because you don't want your flaps to run into them. Okay, so when it closes, it still closes. It doesn't bump into these edges here, right? And on the inside, we're going to put our basic white where we can either stamp or write our message. And again, I will post these measurements, so not to worry. And you can adjust this too a little bit if you like. I was just trying to get the measurements so that the mechanism would work and, you know, fit into an envelope. So it's a little bit thicker. Now, if you did want to cut down on the thickness, you could leave out this center panel. You could just put your basic white right on the base, right? But I'm just going to kind of do what Kylie did. And, but yeah, if you didn't want this extra bulk, it's not too bad, but it is definitely a little bit heavier than a normal piece of cardstock or a normal card. Okay, so then we're gonna put this really bright one here on the top of our flap, this designer paper, and definitely, you know, play around with the patterns for sure. And don't forget, this could be with any designer paper. You could make this a fun Christmas card, you know, a birthday card, because it's got sort of different flaps and things happening. I think that would be really fun. It doesn't have to just be this paper, although I love it, but this could definitely be for any occasion, right? Okay, so there we are. It does show through a teeny bit, but I think our little flaps on the top are gonna cover most of that. So again, you have your flap, and now we are going to do this part, which is maybe a teeny bit trickier, but not too much. Okay, so we have 2 pieces of Misty Moonlight. These are, what are these? 4 by 1.5. And then we have a mat on top. You can decide which color you'd like. And these are, I guess, 3 3/4 by 1 1/4, I'm guessing. Okay, so we're just gonna put these on top of that Misty Moonlight flap, or closure, I guess is what it is gonna end up being, kind of. And we'll put our kintsugi paper on top. Whoops, so this is where you can slide it. If you're a little bit off, you can reposition. That's the beauty of the glue for sure. Okay, and then we'll put these on top. And you can, like I said, just definitely mix up the colors or switch them around, whatever you'd like to do. Okay, so I'll put this one here. And I don't know where Kylie found or figured this out, but I think it's really very clever. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna position these on top here, okay, on the right side, but we don't want to adhere the whole piece. We just want to adhere under the right side, okay? So just as a guide, I'm gonna flip this over and position it just down a bit from the pink, okay? And then I'm just gonna put some glue right on this little corner here so it doesn't go over to the other side, okay? So just like that, and then I'm gonna flip it and hold this down and just sort of center that, and just a little bit of the pink showing at the top. Okay, so give that a little press, and this is still not attached, right? And then we're going to do the same with this side. So we're going to flip it over and get an idea of where we want this. And then we're just going to put some glue over here on this little right hand side. Okay, so press the card down and then just attach this on top. My cutting might have been a teeny bit off here. Didn't cover the pink all the way, but that's okay for today. Okay, so you're just going to press this, so then you have these 2 flaps, right? And those are not attached. Okay, so then we have our centerpiece. So again, we have a piece of Misty Moonlight. What is this one? I'll have to double check what this one is at. I think it's 4 by 3. Yeah, 4 by 3, and then this is 1/4 inch smaller. So let's put this on top again. Now, if you wanted to have a contrasting piece in the center, you definitely could do that. Okay, so let's put this on top like so. Okay, so we have our centerpiece here. And then this is going to go on of these two. Okay, and it's going to overlap, so don't worry about that. The only thing you want to make sure is that you've kind of got the same spacing here and here. Like you don't, well, I don't think you necessarily want it to go higher or lower. You kind of want it centered, because that will make operating those flaps a little bit easier. So again, we just want adhesive on this one side, okay? And you're going to sort of position it where this is going to go. And you can see you don't want to go past that flap, right? So let's just put some of this on here. And let's try to get that on. And then we're going to flip it over and just sort of center that to the edge and give it a press. Oops, you know what I did wrong? I should have. That's what I did wrong. Oh, I knew I was going to do something. These, you do not want to have adhesive on these. Oh my gosh. I just wanted adhesive on this center part. Oh my goodness. What a mistake that was. What can I use to rub that off? Well, that was not very smart, was it? I was doing so well. I just want to rub this adhesive. Or should I just cut a new piece? Because that's going to stick no matter what. I don't have my remover here. Oh my gosh. I was doing so well, guys. Okay. I was doing so well. Now this is going to feel sticky maybe too. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut another piece of this Misty Moonlight. Oh my gosh. The joys of a video, right? Okay, hang on. We're going to cut another piece, 4 by 3. Okay, this is almost 4. Okay, so we'll go 3, and then we'll go 4, and then we are going to be very careful and remove this top piece, and if not, I'm going to have to cut another one. Oh boy. Yeah, that doesn't look so good. Okay, I'm going to cut another one. Where is my paper? See, you get to do all of this with me. Isn't that fun? Okay, so I have another partial piece here. So instead of 4 by 3, we are going to cut 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And that should be our layer right there. Is that right? Oh my gosh. Okay, this is 4, and I did, yeah, just a smidgen more. Okay, so let's put these away. Okay, sorry for that little interruption. Let's try this again. Okay, we are, oh my gosh, maybe my glue is wearing out here too. Well, we're almost done gluing, I think. Let's make sure this is enough on here. Okay, so let's put this on here. Like so. Okay, so now what we want to do, okay, is just put adhesive on this pink part. Oh my gosh, that was so simple. think my head was getting ahead of me, thinking of the next part. Okay, let's just put some on here. Okay, so now you are going to just want to center this and press this down just on the left side. Okay. So I should have let that sit for just a minute. Okay, so then when you close it underneath this top flap. Okay, so you open it, ta-da! Here's your message, your greeting, and then when you close it, you tuck these ones just slightly underneath that top flap. And once that dries a little bit better, it'll be fine. It's just a little bit tacky right now. Okay, and these might be a little bit tacky from accidentally getting a bit of glue on them, but okay. There we go. So last part is to decorate. Okay, so on the sample, I cut out a vase and a teapot and some of these sort of blossoms out of the gold foil. And then I just said, you inspire me. There are some nice little greetings in here, but you could turn this into whatever occasion you would like. So I have gone ahead and cut my vases out of that designer paper. So I'm just going to close this just so I get a better sense of where this is going. Okay. So I am going to put, I think, my pink vase and then my beige one there, but I'm going to pop them up with some dimensionals. But I think before I put that on, I might put these little blossoms in behind, unless I can still tuck them in, which I probably can. So let's do that later. Maybe I'll just put 3. Okay, so I'll put those a little bit to the left. And then our little teapot. Oh, I just love this paper. I just think this is so, so beautiful. And we'll just put our teapot there. I'm not going to put a greeting on this one because I'm not 100% sure what I want to say on this one. Now these, for just ease of mess, I put these on an adhesive sheet. Now the trick is to get these off. Hopefully I can do that fairly soon. There we go. You just need the start. Oh, and I must have used smaller pieces because it's not all coming off at once. Okay, so this, I'm just going to tuck. Now, I don't want it to go over this flap here, so I'm just going to sort of tuck it underneath here, like so, just for a nice gold accent, because there's gold in the paper and gold on the vases, or the vase and the teapot. And then this one, I'm just going to put underneath. I could put it underneath here too, I guess, instead of, yeah, let's do that. Let's put it on this side instead, like so. And then you could add your greeting. And last, I'm going to add a couple of these little accents. They are flower accents, and they come in 2 different sizes. So I think we'll just put a large one and a small one on here. Maybe I'll do it, yeah, I'll do it this way. And there you go. There is your, oh, this is still sticking a little bit, your kintsugi. What did she call it? Panel, slide, and lock Z fold. I guess because this is like a Z fold here. And it kind of locks when you slide this underneath like so. So there you go, a little bit of a longer video today because it was a little more intricate project, but it's really not very hard to do. Once you get your measurements, it's just a matter of cutting your paper layers and putting it all together. So I hope you will try that fun fold. I think it's a really neat fun fold that I'm looking forward to trying on maybe some Christmas cards even for somebody really special this year. We'll see. So I hope you enjoyed that project today, and we will see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.